Yes. What's up, everybody? It's your boy, Mr. Collins Odhiambo. Thank you for tuning in to another episode of Collins Elevates You, all about shifting mindsets and raising potential in the youth through the game of basketball. Now, today, I'm so happy and humbled to be hosting the head coach, Morans, man, my friend. I'm so happy to be hosting Mr. Cliff Owuor. Cliff, how are you, sir?
Very fine, thank you, Collins. And yourself?
I'm very okay.
Uko aje bwana?
Mimi niko shambamba, huko aje bwana?
Niko
Huko aje?
poa kabisa. You are for the first time mtu amenipata kwangu where I'm more relaxed.
It was meant to happen that way. Ni nzuri bwana. COVID-19 inakupeleka aje?
Ni normal, but you have to hang in there. One thing, you always have to be hopeful. If you don't have hope, it can be
normal,
crazy. But if you're always hopeful and of course unaongea na sagodi pia and ways open up.
Yeah. That is good. So hata kabla tuende mbali, kabla tuingie hata kwa mambo yako vizuri, tuambie, we have the games coming in November, the AfroBasket Qualifiers. So how are you guys preparing? What is happening behind the scenes? What is happening?
All is good. All is good so far. We are really talking to the federation is talking to a couple of different people to see to it that things go in place, and we are also talking as a team. That is the Morans. This team keeps getting bigger, and we also trying to get some new faces also involved in this coming championship. So kuna vitu tunafanya. At the same time, we're having to monitor the players. There are things we discuss with them, what they're trying to do, and they keep me posted. We're in communication a lot.
That is good. So it's like it's individual workout now. Wanna train to male wako.
Yeah, right now it's individual workout because, however, like in a case of Mutuka Tyler, their season is almost on, so he's working. Team is in pretty great shape because their season.
Yeah.
I think they're playing their first game next month. Yeah, April 23rd.
Nice.
Yeah.
So Taylor is in the mix. So, confirmed.
Tyler is in the mix.
Nice. Oh, I respect Taylor. He's a great player. Yani ni committed na work ethic yake bwana. Noma. Huyu jamani noma.
Yes. When it comes to akina Desmond kidogo bado amewafungia. But he's working out. He's working out pretty hard individually. So we are following up. In fact, the last time I was sharing with his colleagues when we were in the one of our Monday Zoom meetings, and I was telling them, hey, Desmond seemed to be working so hard. There's some drill he was doing there, a physical training drill that was crazy. I told and I tried to show these guys. I don't know if there's anyone who's tried it. But imagine
guys are like, no.
An instant where the guy is on his knees. Can you jump from your knees, get back to your feet?
Oh, to your feet.
From your knees position, you're kneeling down.
Yes. I've seen that drill, but I've never tried it.
Yeah. I find that it's pretty tough. And look at the size here, Des. So
Yes,
there's
bwana.
trying to do that. That the giant in the guy. Just
wacha hata kwanza
so
size.
we
Wacha hata kwanza
mhm.
you wanted to say? Sorry.
So I'm thinking that the guys are keeping. I believe the guys are keeping in good shape, and once we are able to have everybody in house, then it will be great. Yeah,
That
yeah,
is good. So at least we are doing something for as we prepare, as we wait for the games, because I know other countries, I know guys also getting ready. This is a big deal, and in fact for us
yeah.
as Kenya, it's a big deal. So the more they prepare, the more they can represent us. Hiyo ni sawa, sisi tutakuwa tunawashangilia kutoka mali tutakuwa bana. So kitu nataka sasa tuanzie nayo ni first of all you want to know Coach Cliff. Unaona Coach Cliff alizaliwa wapi? Where were you born? Ulilelewa wapi? Ulienda shule wapi? Unajua, hebu tujue Coach Cliff sasa vizuri. Watu wakujue. Tuambie.
I was born and raised in Kisumu. I grew up in Kisumu. If for those who know Kisumu, there's one of the famous estates called Arena. To date, it's somewhere I consider home to me. And went to KB. Yeah.
Oh.
And
Nice.
that's where the career began. It began, and I've been fortunate to work around very enthusiastic people who have excelled in the game. Even I'm talking about even locally. I know last time you hosted Olude, Ben Oloch.
Yes.
And Ben was my teammate. I think he's the last person I played with when in Postbank competitively. When we even played Al Hilal, that's in 2003. Al Ahly rather of Egypt in Kasarani. And other than that, I just felt at some point in time we had a teacher who, and I know he loved the game, but I always had a feeling that there's something that at Wemby that can make us better. So I was curious. My coaching started because of curiosity. And then I remember one time when I moved to Nairobi, and before I moved to Nairobi, the same teacher one time told us that, you know what, maths hawezi flop. You just need to do what? Use the formula. And formulas. And he gave us all. He was a physics and magic and maths teacher. He was called Okuyi Njenga. He's the late now. God rest his soul in peace. But he advised us, and one thing in it that stuck in my mind was the formula. Yeah, and that comes back again to what there was a formula that he was doing great in class, but he was also a soccer. He was a soccer player. Soccer was his best game as a midfielder, so he was a very good player. So he was not actually teaching us the fundamentals of the game of basketball. Hapo kidogo alimiss. So I started thinking, if you dwell so much on the fundamentals of the game, it will make life easy for you. So when the guys actually, the year I was in Form 4, we talked to my colleagues in Form 4 that we had in my team was Ronowino's younger brother, Dan, and another friend of mine. Isaac Masharia.
Sure.
So we went and recruited everybody who was. I was a captain.
Uh-huh. Uh-huh.
The deal was we get everybody that is taller than Cliff. Are
Oh.
the only people we became that selfish. I'm sorry if I look back and we get everybody that is taller than.
Uh-huh.
We start from Form 2,
Mm.
Kwenda chini. Yeah, and we got
Uh-huh.
some very good guys we worked with, and we had a very good team the following year. I had a very smart
Oh.
teammates, the likes of Simon
Mm-hmm.
Bolo, Amphio Nyango.
Mm-hmm.
These guys were very competitive. They later on came to do well in the league. So that's where the started thinking of coaching.
Mm-hmm.
Came to
Mm-hmm.
Nairobi when I joined Moi Air Base. I
Mm-hmm.
played for Moi Air Base, and
Ah, nice.
eventually uh, coached the team. Then
Mm-hmm. Nice.
I met a friend of mine who is some white guy called Greg Cloudfelter. He told me he
Mm-hmm.
needed someone who had
Mm-hmm.
some Christian principles to work with his team.
Mm.
So I was actually playing for Moya Base and going to KCITI to donate my time. Then eventually I had to
Mm.
quit Moya Base and join KCITI, Kenya Christian Industrial
Mm-hmm.
Training Institute in
Mm-hmm.
Italy. And
Ah.
we began a basketball program there. Then later on, one of the financiers of KCITI, Tony Molden, came down
Mm-hmm.
and realized I was also doing a good job with the KCI team. So he
Mm-hmm.
started mentoring me. He gave
Nice.
me lots of chances and opportunities just to learn the game, just learning the game of basketball. We would talk basketball. He would
Mm-hmm.
teach me things about leadership, and
Mm-hmm.
he really did a great job teaching me the game. He eventually sent me to the US for training at the University of
Oh,
Arizona for
nice.
3 months. Yeah,
Mm.
that's where when I came, everything does change. My whole view of
Basketball.
basketball changed, and I said
Mm.
I am going to coach this game professionally. That's I've just made up my
Nice.
mind. Then I've been fortunate
Nice.
also to be in the wings of people like Coach Ronnie Wino, Jojo Gola, that is
Mm.
Benolwat's brother, who's in South Africa,
Mm-hmm.
Coach
Oh,
Smarts, uh, uh,
yes, Max.
Antonio Juku, T9, all
Juku.
these guys have worked with
Mm.
a lot of them closely.
Mm.
So I've learned coaching is also stealing ideas. I've learned a lot from them.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Mm.
Other than that, I want to say I've been very fortunate to be in the hands of some of the best coaches in the world. I,
Oh,
I
nice.
know
Mm-hmm.
when you took up Morans, there was a lot of doubts at some point in time. Actually, the players would tell
Mm-hmm.
me that people doubted me a lot. But
Ah.
in the 12 years I was in Rwanda, when I went
Mm-hmm.
there, I also took the opportunity to continue elevating myself in
Mm-hmm.
terms of knowledge of the game. So I was fortunate also
Mm-hmm.
to be under Coach Knight, Bobby Knight. At
Mm-hmm.
least I
Mm-hmm.
spent 2 weeks with coach, the staff at Texas Tech University.
Mm-hmm.
Had an opportunity to spend time with the staff of Rick Pitino for 1 week
Nice.
at Louisville.
Nice.
Uh,
Nice.
and
Nice.
then there's McMurray University, where one of the players, our former players went to. I was there also for a
Mm.
week. Yeah.
Nice.
Then Lava
Mm-hmm.
Christian University, where Cartwright, if you know James Omondi Cartwright, Mamin
Mm-hmm.
Kolomoni, some of the players we sent there.
Ah.
So I
I
would
know that
really,
side. Yeah.
yeah, yes, and then also some D2 schools. Then another thing is the opportunity to watch these NBA games, and you get to
Oh man.
just to
Ay, 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 ay,
just
ay, ay.
be
So you've
there
watched NBA
with.
games?
Yeah, actually, the first game I ever
Ah.
watched was against. I was in Dallas, Texas, and
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
this guy wanted. He's a friend to Coach Tony Molding. He told him, "I wanted to give this
Mm-hmm.
guy a treat," and
Mm.
they took me to the Dallas Mavericks game against Minnesota Timberwolves. Wow, it was
Wow.
unbelievable, an unbelievable experience.
Ay,
Then also,
man.
I've watched
Mm-hmm.
the Pacers
Mm-hmm.
Pacers against when they were. I was in Indiana for the 2012 Final Four.
Mm-hmm.
Uh,
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
then after the group that we were there, they took me to the Pacers game, and they were
Nice.
playing the
Wow.
Bucks. Yeah, I've also been fortunate to watch the Cleveland Cavs
Ah,
when
when
LeBron
LeBron was there.
when LeBron was there. So they're some of the greatest experiences uh,
Wow.
I've really,
That is dope, man. That is
I
dope.
really cherish.
Baby, how was your experience as a coach in Rwanda? How was the experience? Because now Rwanda, I've seen even the arena and that side, and their basketball is like those guys are serious. They want to elevate the game. So, what was your experience during that time? Because you're in Rwanda, how was it there
Now,
as a coach? Yeah.
when I
Mm-hmm.
first went to Rwanda,
Mm-hmm.
in 2005, June 2005,
Mm-hmm.
and everything was so bad. It was a very tough experience. They were not speaking.
Mm.
Not very few people were speaking Swahili and English.
Wow.
So I had
Uh-huh.
to. I started, you had to speak some broken language for someone to understand you.
Mm-hmm.
If you try to speak
Wow.
straight up English or straight up Swahili,
Mm-hmm.
it was
Mm-hmm.
very difficult to communicate. But
Mm-hmm.
when I went there, I remember in 2000 and I coached their national team in 2005, 2006 men,
Mm-hmm.
and
Mm-hmm.
uh, we we were losing. We were losing every game,
Mm-hmm.
every game.
Mm-hmm.
I remember we organized a trip. Now the following year, 2007, we came to Kenya, both
Mm-hmm.
ladies team and the men's team. Now I'll switch to coach the ladies team and the men. The only team that we beat was USIU. That is, but
Mm-hmm.
all club teams that we played against here in Kenya, that is the
Mm-hmm.
Rwanda national team, beat
Mm-hmm. Ah,
Rwanda
yeah.
except USIU. The ladies team, likewise, we only won, I think, only one game.
Mm-hmm.
So
Oh.
they were very consistent. They were very consistent in their plan, and
Mm-hmm.
uh, I won't lie that there was always a challenge and pressure out
Yeah.
there when you're in pro. It's pressure. There's no
Mm-hmm.
lie about that. If you don't deliver,
Mm-hmm.
uh, it will be
Yeah.
painful. But that's the reality of it all. So
Eh, but
we prepared a good team, especially with the APR, the team that I was coaching, that
mm-hmm.
became a good base for the Rwandan national
Mm-hmm.
team. And eventually, you
Mm-hmm.
could tell the management were focused, the federation
Mm-hmm.
were very
Mm-hmm.
focused. They wanted to win,
Mm-hmm.
and they were doing
Mm-hmm.
everything they could. They were supporting us as coaches. They were supporting
Mm-hmm.
the players. They would put us in a camp for a tune of 6 weeks to 2 months.
Wow, that is
People, you guys are just eating, training. They did a lot. So I understand where they've gotten to, because the other thing is, the ministry there is charged to follow up with the federations.
Nice.
So the ministers have charged federations with goals. Yeah, you guys, you tell the ministry your goals, because the minister eventually is going to report to the His Excellency Kagame, and
Nice.
they'll ask him, "What have you done?" So they have to work on building courts. They have to work on working with kids, as in fundamental. We would run camps around the country. Yeah, just teaching kids
Nice. That is good.
fundamentals. What are you guys doing during holidays? So, and those are things we are able to do here, and monitored
Yeah,
by
sure. Yeah.
federation,
The ministry.
and then the
The
ministry,
ministry.
and
Then the
eventually
president.
the executive. Huko. You see that?
Ah,
They're just things
yeah.
that, if are done well, these are things that are achievable, and we can work great towards them.
Nice, nice, nice. So
Yeah.
before we continue,
So
let me
otherwise,
just
I want to say that it was a good experience. It has helped me a lot as a person. I grew
yeah.
as a coach. I want to
Yeah.
say that it was just about time that I'll come back and work with even the Kenyan team
Yeah.
and the Kenyans back
Yeah.
here. But the truth is, the Rwanda helped me grow a lot as a coach. Yeah.
That is good, man. That is good. We grow through the challenges that we go through. That is how we grow. That is how we grow. That is how we come
Exactly.
out of our like, let me call them like our
Cocoon or the
comfortable
shell.
molds. Yes, yes.
Mm.
So that's how we come up with it. So that is a great thing. So before we continue, let me just shout out some guys who've shown up. So there's Samim Falme saying, nice bro. So thank you so much for tuning in. There is Mohammed. Mohammed, I think we talked on Instagram. Mohammed saying, what's up coach? Anakusalimia hapo.
What's up, Mohan? How are you?
Yes, yes. We have Shiruni
Good to hear
saying,
from
tuned in with
you, Mohan.
Elevate. Yes, yes, yes. Sami Okumu, this is like a number 1 fan. He's saying, Mr. Bigman, Coach Cliff, respect. That is good, that is good. And then I have this guy here. I know you know this
Respect
guy.
Okumu.
Mr. Yes. And also this guy, Mr. Dikembe. Dikembe is tuned in, my friend.
Dikembe.
Yes.
He's our number 1 fan, supporter. He's there all the
Kabisa,
time for this
kabisa,
team. And we really
kabisa,
appreciate
kabisa.
his. There's a lot of
Yes,
things he
yes.
does for the team. Big
That-
up, Dikembe. We really appreciate
kabisa,
you.
kabisa. We have Mwenda Turu. He's called Mwenda Turuchui, saying that he's tuned in. Thank you so much for tuning in. We have somebody from Kigali, Rwanda. Let me just see. It's called Flavian. Flavian Odhiambo is saying that he's tuned in from
Flavian,
Rwanda. Thank you so much,
that's my
Flavian.
dear
You're highly welcome.
lady.
Yes. Nice, nice, nice. So as we continue, guys, if you have any questions, please, for Coach, post them in the comment section so that we get some time and able to answer them. So now the other thing, Coach, that I want us to
Sure.
talk about is who is your favorite coach and why? Maybe somebody that you look up to and why.
Just sincerely,
Mm-hmm.
I've been a Laker fan from childhood, because our team was Kisumu Lakers. It's Lakers that we knew
Yes.
so much. We knew Lakers. We were good in the time of Lakers and the Bulls. So me, coming from being a guy from Lakeside, Lakers sounded near. At that time, the coach was Patwell. Patwell is the guy who inspired me. Right now, the president of Miami Heat. Just take a sip.
Nice.
Is He's the president of Miami Heat, and he was very focused on the challenges that they were facing. One of one of the books is written is The Winner Within. That's one of my favorite books by Patrick. Most of these coaches, by the way, they've written books. We have Jim Calhoun of Connecticut, A Passion to Lead. Those are some of the books that I read. Then Sacred Hoops, Phil Jackson.
Oh, yes.
I don't know if some very interesting books that would really inspire. Then Rick Pitino. This one I want to say was a gift. When I visited Louisville, he gave me a book entitled Rebound. And Rick, but you asked me, who is your favorite coach?
And why?
Patrali inspired me into coaching. My favorite coach that I like so much is Rick Pitino.
Okay.
I like his up-tempo style of play. However, I also pick a little bit of thoughts and ideas, especially on half-court defense. I like Coach K's half-court defense. However, he's not one of my most. I rank him up there. I read a lot about him, but he's not. You have somebody who's not you. Like I'll tell you guys, this would be surprise many, but not a surprise to one of my closest friends, Simon Bolo. He knows I respect Michael Jordan, but he's not my favorite. Magic Johnson.
Yeah, we learn from some.
But I know when you talk about the gold and all, I think people need to put him. He deserves it up there. However, he's not just. I learn a lot of things about him. I read a lot about him, but he's not my favorite guy because I didn't play like him. I played more. I was more of a passer and a defensive player.
Okay.
So I watched Magic Johnson a lot than watching Michael Jordan.
That is my guy also.
Yeah.
No look.
Yeah. So I'm a very good passer when playing, and I'm a good defender when playing. So Pitino is my guy. But over times, you know, when you watch all these coaches, and then you like I had an opportunity when went for the 2012 Final Four in Indianapolis. During meeting, there were like 2,000 professional coaches, and you just need to read like on a timetable. This coach will be speaking about, like Jim Boeheim of Syracuse spoke about the 2-3 defense. My friend, if you listen to this guy talk and the advantages of the defense, you end up thinking like, this time when I go back home, I'm just gonna be playing 2-3 defense. Then we have the coach, former coach of Real Madrid, Ettore Messina. Ettore Messina, who was also assistant coach with the Spurs. You see how the Spurs run their offense?
Yeah.
Unbelievable. He speaks about transition offense. He talks about transition offense, and then half-court offense and the things he believes in, and wow. And the coach for Yukon ladies, you know, Oriema. So you're able to you get the views of all these coaches, and they really help you grow your mind. So I later on, and even the late Utah Jazz coach, Jerry Sloan, is actually the one who at much of my offenses, the one for high offense and the 4 out.
Yeah,
You do that a lot. Then you do a lot of pick and rolls with the likes of Stockton and Malone. So all those things, they kind of like when you watch all these people, you bring all these things together, they kind of, and then you got to create yourself your own path. They really like help you come up with what you really want, what you believe in, and what you really want your team to look like. Yeah. So I've kind of like done that, and off that I've been able to create a path on how I want to play my team. I want my teams to play on defense and eventually on offense. So I have a clear view on that. But going back, my most favorite is Pitino. I like his intensity, the intensity of his right now. He also coached the Boston Celtics before he came back to Louisville. Right now he's in Greece with Panathinaikos. I don't know how to pronounce that.
I know that. I know it. I used to watch them in. I used to buy CDs somewhere in Kenya cinema. There's a guy who used to say in their games, Panathinaikos. I think they're called Panathinaikos or something like that. Very good. Them.
Yeah, they are very good.
Panathinaikos. I remember them. They used to play. I think they played the finals. I don't know which year. There's a year I saw their game.
Yeah, they've won a lot.
It was the
won a couple of
championships. Yes. But I remember there's one that I watched. I had it on a CD. There was a guy who was selling CDs pale Kenya cinema pale juu. Kama kuna mtu anamkumbuka tuandikie kwa comment. There's a guy who was selling basketball games pale Kenya cinema pale juu. Yeah, we used to go there. We buy a number of them, and after tunaenda jumbani unaziona. So I had so many. I had like an album just for EuroLeague. Once I saw EuroLeague and I understood that their kind of play was like our own FIBA rules and everything. I was like, I'm watching these guys, and these guys, that's why I saw, so big men can actually shoot. I was like, if I go back to school and telling guys, all big men, you must be able to shoot, you must be able to dribble and all these things. So I learned actually a lot also from EuroLeague. So before we continue, let me just shout out some guys here. There is Pretty Mom, she that's my mother from another area, tuned in from Kawangware. Thank you so much. We have Nagis Ali tuned in. That is good. So there's Mohammed. Mohammed is saying something here. Coach, I wanted any moment as a player where you faced difficulty elevating your game, and how did you overcome it? No, this is a question. Coach,
yeah,
yeah. So did you understand it, Coach? I wanted any.
Yeah.
Coach, I wanted
that, and that gives me a state that I was in. Maybe just go ahead and comment on others, then I can answer that. I can answer more on that later.
Okay, so I think there's no other comment, so you can just answer this and then we'll continue.
Now, Moha, when I was playing for Moi Air Base, something happened. We had this point guy who was very, very good. George Kinanju is now in South Africa. He's pastoring there. A very good guy who helped me. So, Nju had to go for boot training, as in military training. Nju had been playing 30 to 35 minutes a game, and I play 4 to 10 minutes a game. And I'm his backup point guard. The guy averages 30 points, 25 to 30 points a game. I'm a 4 to 8 point player. Yeah. Or sometimes sifungi. Now, here I am. I have to wear the shoes of someone who's been playing 30 so minutes and scoring to over 25 points. And I'm a 4-point guy at a 4 3-point, a 4 8-minute player. 10 minutes player. And I'm thinking, sawa, I'll have to do this anyway because I'm the point guard anyway. There's a game we were playing against Post Bank, and it was the last game of the first leg, and there's a 2-week period. Their opponent stole 8 balls for me. I lost 8 balls. And all those losses culminated into basket. That's how many points? That's 16 points. And we lost 11 points. Nani ameuza team? And we lost 11 points. Si mimi ndio nimeuza. So we go back to the coach. We go back to the camp at Moya Base. My teammates, we go for training. We would drink chai. These are funny, but it was the truth. We drink hot tea as water. If I remember those things, we drink hot tea as water. And sometimes when I'm coming to drink tea, some of my teammates will tell you, we are naribu chai. Enda huko kwa gym train. So after taking, like, people enjoy the tea, I go back to the gym, and there I am. I started training. And the next game, whom are we playing? Post Bank again, after 2 weeks. I improved my game 2 weeks. I kept telling them, no, give me the ball. Where we end. I don't want a screen. I don't want nothing. I brought the ball down because I worked on it. Yes. I took my time and worked on bringing the ball down. And I had, I think, about 11 steals or 11 points. I don't remember now. But we won that game. From there on, my teammates had a lot of confidence in me. But part of it is I took time. I accepted that niliuza, and it was not going to happen again. So change starts with acceptance. You must accept first your weakness, then go work on your weakness. When you come back, you're a different person. Yeah, that's how I would answer more. So more, the challenges are there. Remember, Michael Jordan was also dropped. Okay.
Yeah. That is true. And he went, worked on his game. Something happened. He increased in his height. He came back and was like, I'm going to show you. You made a mistake dropping me. And right now, to me and many others, is the greatest ever, and he's the GOAT. Yeah, for me and many others, he's the GOAT. Now, coach, niko na swali hapa. Because I was in that atmosphere. Na najua watu wengi wanataka kusikia hii maneno kabla tuendelee. That game with South Sudan coaches. Can you just tell us your experience playing South Sudan in the finals, the hype, the energy at Nyayo Stadium? I was there, I supported. Nilienda nyumbani, koo haikuwa sawa. Sauti ilipotea, but we supported. Like, what was that experience, man? Because South Sudanese, those guys, they had.
One thing I want to say again to all the fans that are watching, thank you so much for coming through for us. Your shouts there, your Okumu, I know Okumu is there, DK is there, and all other guys who are there. Thank you guys for coming out to support us. Yeah. That was a big crowd. We've never seen anything like that in Kenyan basketball. And that was just unbelievable. Other than that, I want to say that we took our time. After every game, I would go
Mm-hmm.
out there.
Mm-hmm.
I would go out there and look at
Mm-hmm.
our opponents, South Sudan. I know many a times they
Mm-hmm.
kept asking me, reporters would come and ask me about South Sudan. I didn't want to comment,
Mm-hmm.
and I told them, who are we playing? Talk to me about whom we are playing tomorrow. Because that,
Yes.
if you have any question about someone we are playing against tomorrow, then I'll answer
Mm.
you. If you ask me about South Sudan,
Mm.
I do not know anything. But then we were taking our notes, we
Mm-hmm.
did our job. When that day
Mm-hmm.
came, I'd spent time watching our
Mm-hmm.
opponents. We knew their
Mm-hmm.
strengths. We knew what we are good at. We knew we
Mm-hmm.
were gonna come out very strong. And I talked to
Mm-hmm.
Desmond,
Mm-hmm.
Okal,
Mm-hmm.
uh, Bush.
Bush.
We're gonna win this game. Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
we're gonna win this
Mm-hmm.
game at the low post.
Mm-hmm.
Mike McChiadi, you
Mm-hmm.
guys
Mm-hmm.
must come out and battle these guys inside. So had. Then on the
Mm-hmm.
defensive end, we also did what we were able to do. So actually,
Mm-hmm.
if you check, the other thing that I told the players, maybe this is the narrative. You always
Mm-hmm.
must have a narrative to convince you, which is not just a narrative, is the truth. Most of those players have not played African ball. Those players, they were
Mm-hmm.
coming in from Europe and all that. And I told them, guys, we
Yeah.
understand this terrain better than they do. We are just from the
Yeah.
African Championship, and we've
Mm.
gotten to the
Mm.
finals. We cannot
Mm.
perform below that. So,
Yes.
and more so, you at home will be slaughtered here, guys, with our own fans if we don't step up our game.
Oh, yeah.
Then
Yes, yes,
there's
yes.
there on the defensive end, which I think is one of the
Mm-hmm.
things that did help us do them a lot of damage.
Yeah. Yeah.
There's
Yeah.
a couple of ways I can't divulge here. Those are some of our secrets. How we play
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
rotational defense, eh,
Mm-hmm.
and we walk through these things in the
Mm-hmm.
morning practice, and we told them these are the possible things that they're gonna do. This is how they've been playing. We got to cut off this. We got to
Mm-hmm.
cut off this. We got to cut off this. So we took
Mm-hmm.
care of those things, Missouri, and that's how we had an edge. We realized at the end of it, with our aggression into it, we can have an edge above them, and that's what we did exactly.
Ah, nice man, nice. That was it was a great game. Yani, man, yani that energy in the building, guys were like back huko juu huko kwa mabati huko juu watu wanataka kuingia. Like the energy was exciting. We were so happy that they won. Yani nilirudi nyumbani yani man, it was such an awesome experience. Yani nikasema if basketball in Kenya could reach to that level yenye ikifika finals ama playoffs gym inajaa hivi because we have fans, it is clear that we actually have fans. So tu ni kupata venye we can bring those fans to the arena, but an awesome experience. So before you continue, there's another question. I like questions, guys asking questions. So let me just share this question here. There's a swali hapa. As a coach, so this is Mevik Osebe. As a coach, have as a coach, I think he was supposed to say, as a coach, have you faced where I think that's supposed to be where the other team official pushing you to play a certain player? Oh, I think I understand what you're trying to say. As a coach, have you faced a situation where an official is pushing you to play a certain player? So maybe somebody in KBF or something like that. It's like, can you play that player? Have you had such an experience?
Yes, yeah, those
Mm-hmm.
are things you're gonna face, especially if you go to.
Mm-hmm.
I faced that in Rwanda, and
Mm-hmm.
I want let me try and be as
Mm-hmm.
candid as I can, but I hope I don't Yeah, that has
Yeah,
happened
I understand.
when we were playing one of the African club championships in 2009. We had some. We had a high flyer. One of my players was a high flyer, very very agile. He's a six eight guy, can shoot the three, and then on transition is very good. And he was one of the best players. But we were playing. We were playing Kano Pillars. Kano Pillars are from Nigeria, and they are pretty physical team.
Okay.
They are probably one of the most physical teams in Africa, and they were asking me, why have you not started this gentleman? I know I'm the one with the players, and I know that player of mine is a
Yeah.
vegetarian. I'm not saying that vegetarians are weak. Uh, he's a vegetarian,
But
so
I know
he's
I
like,
understand what you mean.
yeah. So I needed guys who are going to face these guys. I mean, the physical aggression of
Yeah.
the pillars. You see that? And then I would bring him. He was not this basketball. He's gonna play at some point in time, but
Yeah.
I knew if we start with him and these guys knock him, he was not gonna be in this game. And I did
Yeah.
explain to him. I try to do that with my players, especially my starters. I tell them why I'm not starting them and why I'm starting. I think we need to go with this other player in this game. I talk to them before the game, and I let them know. And if you're not a starter, and you're going to start, I also talk to you and I let you know
That
before
is
the game
good.
that we're gonna
That is
start
good.
you in this game, and these are because of this. We expect you to do this. You see that. But to answer Mavic, that is going to happen sometime. But if you are true to yourself and you understand and know what you're doing, you have every reason. You have every reason to stand by your decision and courageously do what you've got to do. Because at the end of the day, I would, actually my mentor one time told me, coach, you know what? If you are the head coach, remember the only one with a head. So if things go bad,
Yes.
there's only one head to be chopped, and it's yours.
Hey,
So if
kabisa.
it goes bad, then just know you have every reason why you did it. So it's a short 1-2 minutes need for you to make. I mean seconds decisions, but then you have to make those decisions in those 2-3 seconds.
Yeah.
The game.
That is good. That is
So
good. That is good.
Mavic.
Yeah. So let me just read some few comments. I'm also seeing some questions are coming. Keep them coming, guys. Keep them coming. So I think even guys normally have better questions than what we've planned. So let me just see. So we have Steward is saying that Steward Okumu saying that he's tuned in from Kakamega. We have Kev who says that change. Let me just see. Change starts with acceptance. Word right there. We have.
Thank you, Kev. Thank you, Kev.
Yes, yes. We have Emily. Emily is saying something here. Good job, Coach Cliff. Thank you so much, Emily. We have.
Hi, Evelyn.
We have Coach Zedi. I think you know Coach Zedi. Coach Zedi is saying we have to recreate that moment for local basketball. I think he's talking about the SSD game.
I
That is very
salute
true.
you,
That is
Coach
very
D.
true.
Thanks for
Yes,
tuning
yes,
in.
yes. We have okay. Now we have two questions. So let me start with Kev. So Kev anasema uliza coach, are there plans to go to the grassroots to look for talent cause kuna talanta mtaani? What can you comment about that?
Yeah, there is COVID has affected most of us, but
Yeah.
in it all, uh, we move around. Sometimes just to go watch schools basketball. Yeah, and I know I've been invited numerous times in Western Kenya and Kisumu, and then Coast Province. I know I've not done a lot of travels these sides of Eldoret and Nakuru and Turkana. I think we had plans with somebody to go. We go to Turkana, but there are plans for us to go deep down to the grassroots. And also, so far, I know there are some guys whom I really need to give a pat on the back. The guys like Martin Okwako of Umoja. I spent. I went to visit him, and he took me around. He shared with me a lot of stuff. A great job he's doing down there. I've been to Kayole with
Kayole.
Shem, Moses. They are doing the younger coaches who are still playing, Brian Kinapita. They're doing a marvelous job down there. There's, I think, a gentleman and a lady in Soweto, Beryl, I think, and Robert. They're doing a great job there. There is, if you go to Kibera, there's Deno. There's Deno at I think it's an Olympic. And then I had an opportunity to visit Deno Pier. Kidogo, we chatted. And then Madare Slams, Sly is doing a wonderful job there with Tom Juma, I think. Yeah. So and then I was also in Kisumu, and there's a gentleman at Magadi, Moses, I think. Spent a little, just Kidogo time with him, and there are a lot that is happening. So I really try to make effort to just walk around. I might not have all the time in my hands to do so, but these are some of the things that, if our federation does well, and these are some of the things that in Rwanda, when they would send me to different provinces, and we just go work there for a week, just pure fundamentals, working with young kids ages 7 to 18, just fundamentals, teaching them also life skills. And myself too, I've started a small-time academy, Wonder Champions East Africa. And I want to give a big thank you to Robert Nyasimi and Renko, Matthew, and Ray for coming through for me in last year's December camp. They sponsored everything. We worked there for 2 weeks with kids, and a marvelous experience. The kids learned a lot in terms of just life skills, and also the game of basketball. There are a lot of things that we do with the kids, and there are a lot of things that we ignore as coaches. Very minute stuff, like things like just ladders, working the kids' legs for coordination and stuff like that. We did a lot of that in our camp. Also, Vikapu has also done a marvelous job with Coach Zedi there, Cynthia. They've done a marvelous job reaching, and then another one, Harry. Harry, very good with fundamentals. One of the guys whom I competed with, and very a lot of full of ideas. Harrison
is great.
Ideas, and these are if we continue doing these things and we extend, out, not just in Nairobi, we extend out to Mombasa, Eldoret, Kisumu. We're gonna have a great, guys who do a great job in future. Let me mention this. This always comes to my mind. Silalei, you know Silalei? I don't know where she is.
I know her.
I've been tuning in, but we're talking with Lei, and Lei helped me work in the camp last December, and Lei played. I coached her in the national team in 2011. What was this? The All Africa Games 2011 in Mozambique. Great player, and has a passion for this game. And Lei mentioned when you were together with her, she mentioned that it will take us about 15 years to get a player to the NBA. That is from last year, in the first year. I want to tell Lei that I'm thinking otherwise maybe we need to work harder and cut those years down. That's one of my one of the things that I'm for sure focused on. And I know with the likes of all these coaches I've mentioned working with these young kids, we're gonna get somebody there. We're gonna get somebody there in the next 10 years. One thing, you can never underestimate the effort of a kid. When you see a kid at age 9, 10 years down the line, you can be amazed on a kid that looked like Mdaifu, some lazy kid has grown. They can really grow and change over time. So we'll see. We're working hard towards that, and that's a goal we have to achieve before Lei's time.
That is good. That is so true. Before I even continue, I interviewed Ronnie Gundo some few weeks back. I think even I'll bring him back so that we have a live session. So I interviewed Ronnie Gundo, and he told me one thing that really gave me hope, and I was like, we're on the right path. So guys like FIBA, Akina Mose Shem Zedi, Hari with Vikapo Elite, Akina Zedi, the guy in Kibira, Akina Sly. If you go, like we were, I think we came together as basketball players. I think it was last month or the month before. I think it was last month or the month before. We came together, bought some foodstuffs, and then we took it to the kids at who play at Sly's Academy. So tulichanga vitu kidogo tukawapelekea. But you can see, yani there's kids ni wadogo. For us, we started playing basketball like me. I started playing basketball when I was in Form 1. I think it was 2002 when I was in Form 1. But you see kids, watoto wadogo who can get the ball. Hata pale kwa Mato, I had a camp last year, Hoop for Greatness. The kid who won the MVP, the thing that triggered me to like this guy, I think is going to get the MVP. Alipata mpira ya kwanza, akaishika, and he was in the triple threat position, and he jab stepped, faked a shot, and then drove in. I was like, 10 years down the line, if these kids continue this working out and he has the proper guidance, we're going to have a great generation of basketball players, because now they've started early. See, tulianza late. For them now they've started early. So in like 10 years, Ronnie Gundo was saying he's so happy because in like 10 years we're going to have a different like generation of players. Our basketball itakuwa imepanda. So that is why these camps and these wanaanza ma academy na nini should actually be supported. Yani kabisa. Yeah, because this I mean,
that's the way
the youth are our future. Yeah. So I think that is that's a great thing that they are doing. So let me just continue with some comments.
And let me just add on something on that. You know, why is NBA coming to Africa? Why is NBA coming to Africa now? It's because look at the likes of Bismarck Biyombo, Embiid. I want the ones that the ones who grew up in Africa, Saji Baka. You see that? Look at these guys were gotten here, and it's like mtu ametolewa hapa katupwa kwa maji, we swim, and they survived. You see that? So I think they've also noticed that there's so much talent in Africa, and that's why they're bringing it out, so that they're able to find a way to nurture this talent from here, and they are able to ship it to the NBA, to their league, which is very lucrative.
That is very lucrative. Yeah.
Yeah.
That is
So
good.
at the end of it all, we just have to continue dreaming.
Yeah. In fact, coach, we have to continue. This is what I believe. We have to continue dreaming, but we have to do something that you said. We have to continue learning.
Okay.
There's a guy from Nigeria, is someone that I follow, is called Ugo King. Guys can go and check him out. He's a businessman and entrepreneur, but he also talks to the youth. He says one thing: you can copy until you become. That's the same way you did. You learn from different people. You learn and then you create your own. Because I feel like even if we are dreaming, we must be willing to do things like pay for a basketball course. If somebody is a coach, maybe in the States or in another country or whatever, somebody inspires you, somebody that you can learn from, and they have a course, learn and grow. Because I think you also have to make an investment when it comes to learning, so that you can apply it back here at home. You understand? So I feel like we have to dream, but you also have to invest in our knowledge. That's just the same way you did, because you are at that level because you learned. Yeah.
Talking about, there's some time I would go. There's this coach went ahead for the national team. I think he was one of the most brilliant offensive brains I've ever seen. Just like he was from Croatia, and he didn't. Anytime, I don't know, that's the reason why he came to dislike me. Anytime I went to watch his session, I would come with a pen and a paper. And they interpreted it like I was scouting for Kenya. But then I was just trying to pick, whenever the things you tell players, I was trying to pick his brains to help me in my own. I was learning from him, because he'd coached for 48 years. Then I was just like 30. I was just like 36, 37. And this guy has coached for 48 years. And I'm thinking, wow, 48 years. 48. That's a long time.
That's a long time.
And so I said, this guy, he was very good on offense. He was very, very good. He's one of the coaches that I've worked with closely that are very, very good offensively.
Nice.
So it's good. It's good to me. And I urge my fellow coaches, continue picking ideas. When you go to somebody's, you ask to go to people's training just to watch and learn. You learn a lot by seeing, not by what you're being told. You learn a lot by seeing. Being there, hands-on, as in you're doing the thing yourself. That helps you more. And that's one of the opportunities that I've had with numerous very good coaches. Even kani siku moja hivi, it's a lot. What you can learn from someone in one day is a lot.
That is true. That is true. I totally agree. Kabisa. So let me just shout out some guys. Wasikuja niambie Kolo nilicomment na hukusema kiti. Hukunitaja mahali. So acha niseme kitu. There is Maxine anasema hi coach. Maxine anasema hi coach please.
Hi Maxine.
Yes. Kuna mtu hapa, the doctor himself. Okal anasema nini? Anasema Moran to the world. Kabisa Moran, kabisa. Okal, good energy man. Huyu ni mtu wangu mbaya. LeBron James fan kabisa. Zedi anasema the Kenya team needs to have a head of scouting. Head coach needs to get scouting report for evaluation. That is true. I totally agree. Unajua, so that you get guys who go out na wana scout, wanaona okay, tuko na players huku na huku. That is very true. In fact, developed countries actually do that.
We are in developed countries we have that. I'll talk to coach. I'll comment on that later. Go ahead.
No, you can just comment right now. Ndio tunaendelea tu. It's okay.
Yeah, well, there are things, Coach Z, there are things we are trying to do. Trying to put some work with places with my team and the federation. So we are trying our best, but with limited resources, you can only do so much. If we have all the resources others have, then we can do a lot.
A lot. That is true. Okay, Mr. Dikembe anasema, anapiga makofi hapo, anasema Kenya basketball lazima. Alafu tunaona we have somebody from the States tuned in from Minneapolis. I mean, is it Minneapolis? Great knowing who Coach Cliff Owuor is. Great guy. You know him, Cliff Gatonye.
Cliff Gatonye. I think hi Cliff. Good to know. We've talked, I think, sometime a little bit. He's one of the our prospects. We hope to see you soon, God willing.
Nice.
He's one of the guys we know more about. He's a player. Thanks, Cliff, for joining in.
Yes. And we have here Zedi saying, currently we have what is called a talent gap, but in 5 years we shall have very high skilled players. That is true. So hii ni mzuri. Hii ya Zedi tunaweza fanya nayo kazi. Ile ya lei tuikata kidogo. That is true.
Yeah.
So hii ya Zedi tutachangamka na hii. That's why even for me I was like, man, I have to let me do something. Niseme hata mimi kwa basketball nilichangia 1 2 3 3. Unaona? So that is true, man. That is true.
There's good coming in the future, especially for the young.
That is true. Now, Coach, before we continue, let me just tell guys, thank you so much for tuning in, guys. We are so happy. I see we have 23 guys. That is awesome. Another thing is, guys, remember to like this page, man. Collins elevates you. Like this page after finishing this video, share it with the other guys, so that guys can learn from Coach Cliff. And then also, guys, go to YouTube, Jama. Go to YouTube. I have a channel, Coach Collins Odhiambo. Go subscribe. Kuna content pale every week. So we're going to be going live. Now, those other days we're going to be sharing things in concerning basketball na drills na nini. Na hapo katikati pia tunaweka life skills. You understand? So we have to elevate you guys. Lazima to elevate from all areas, basketball na maisha na mindset. We have to do these things because I believe it's our responsibility to elevate the youth. Like they are the future. So whether we like it or not, ni kazi yetu, unaona, ni bidii yetu. Lazima, as long as somebody is willing to hear, somebody is willing to learn, help them grow, help them elevate. Now, Coach, kabla tuendelee, kuna swali hapa lakini acha nikuulize swali muhimu sana hapa nilikuwa nimeweka. There's this thing. There's a guy called Rampage. Rampage is the one who recommended those, like, hey, Kolo, you have to interview Coach. He has this philosophy that you have to talk about. Sasa Coach, hebu tuambie kuhusu hii philosophy hapa hii Coach. Inaitwa abide. Yes.
The first A is not there.
Oh, the first A is not
abide.
There.
Over a period of time, I've come to realize that there are things you share with people and it doesn't like stick in their minds. It kind of like doesn't stick in their minds. And especially when you're working with kids, there are things that you really need to tell them that to help them grow as people. And some of these things have really helped me in life. Having the correct S there stands for attitude. B is belief or believe. Then I is integrity. Then D is discipline. and then E
Okay.
is effort. So
Okay.
it comes to abide. One of the things that the first time I ever went to the US, University of Arizona, when we got into the gym, a weightlifting gym, what I first saw written up there was attitude is everything. Attitude is contagious. Yeah. That's one thing. I would give a good example of one of the players I like so much is Eric Ntoro.
Yes,
Eric
Mutoro.
Ntoro, captain, or is also one of our assistant captains in the national team. Erico has this energy. Uh, his energy is very infectious. Mpaka his teammates look at him and they are alone. No, we have to help him. We have to help him. And
Yes.
he brings a lot of energy. He's compared to many, he's not big, but he has a big heart. His attitude, tukikubaliana ati not just all of them. So we try and work on the correct attitude, a pragmatic attitude that we just don't have to be crying all the time. Yes, the odds might be on our side, but that's not the reason to do what? To back off. There's something always you are able to do. And then the other thing, I know you mentioned about this. I do all this to try and change. You talked about mindset. When you're, that's one of the things that we did well with our national team. Our mind frame. We try and we put on minds in these things. There are some things that we repeatedly say to each other until they become like a creed for us. So these are things I keep repeating to kids all the time until they become a creed, the things that they work on. The other thing is belief. You got to believe in yourself.
Yes.
One of the greatest songs I like is by Whitney Houston, "The Greatest Love of All." And if you go to the words of that song, and I think probably all American kids, they are sang that song. It's like that song has been sung to them,
Okay.
and it gives them a strong sense of belief in themselves. They have a lot of belief in themselves and in what they are doing. Sometimes it might be wrong, but if that's what you believe in, you do it wholeheartedly. Another thing I like is integrity. Integrity, I'm talking about you got to be honest with yourself. You got to be honest with people. You got to be true to the things that you're doing. Yeah. And then discipline. I can't many discipline is a very, very key component in every success. If you don't have this, lazima at some point in time ujinyime kitu. You must deny yourself. In economics, they say opportunity cost. For going something else for the other. Yeah. So those are some. If you really want the championship, if you really want to, you've been preparing. You're gonna forgo ile fun. There are some friends who are gonna call you on a Friday night that you want to go have fun, or you go for a drink, or you go to say no, not now, until we are done with this championship, and I will celebrate later. You see that? Then effort hapa bwana, kama una effort dunia hii you gotta work. You gotta work, and you gotta work pretty hard. I like one of the statements Kagame used to tell guys in Rwanda that you go to work until it bleeds blood. Yeah, you will tell you work hard. Then results zitatoka.
That is true.
So
That,
that's really. But I use that with the kids. Amazingly, when I'm now coaching older people like the NT, my players, people who make sense out of everything, I change it. It still remains abide, but in a real game situation, I tell them we got to have the right attitude. Then there's one thing that people do not box out. B
Box
comes
out.
box out. Yeah. Then I is intensity. Intensity there is effort. Then discipline. We must all the things. You know what? One of the things that happens in why people lose games, and it's one of the things. Sometimes when you lose games, basketball, changes can change with one possession that you missed a layup, or you took one forced shot. So we got to be very, very disciplined in the game, such that we stick to our plan for the entire 40 minutes. And the last one is eyes on the ball.
Nice.
I do that.
That is good, man. That is amazing.
You still abide, but then
I
do that when I'm watching things.
Nice. So let me just read some other comments. Nisikuje niambie koloni nilitune na kusoma yangu, acha niangalie tulikuwa tumefika wapi. So Zedi tuliona. Okay, there's a question here, so I think we'll continue with this question, but let me just read these other ones. So there's Rinbola saying, hello coach. So that is Rinbola, anasema hello coach.
Cheers, Rinbola. Ryan
Bola. Tuko na mwingine hapa anasema Angela Kuloba, we are highly welcome. Tuned in, don't late. Umekaribishwa hapa, tunakaribisha watu hata kuchelewa. Umekaribisha sana. Yes. Alafu tunaoneka kuna nyingine. So Andraza anasema nice. Thank you brother. Guys, nimeweka link yangu ya YouTube hapo guys, so please subscribe to the channel. Now as you continue, now there's a question hapa. Coach, have you been in a situation where the team blames you for losing a game? Hiyo hata tumeongelea. Hiyo umepeana hata story. I think hiyo tumeongelea when ile situation yako improve in 2 weeks. So I think hiyo tumegusia. So guys, if you have any questions, tafadhali leave them on the comment section. Tell us where you're watching us from. We're having such a great time. Na tunaendelea kitu. Now coach, and maybe you can share with us your maybe philosophy. How do you work with talented players? Like how are you able to work with them in such a way that because some people unapata hata tu kwa league you can see huyu jamaa kwa talented lakini yuko na venye hawapatani na coach, lakini wewe uliwork na kina Griffin Mtoro, Taylor, as in wanakusikiza, you can see they are engaged, they are doing what you are asking them. How do you work with the talented player? Maybe an advice to our coaches and other coaches.
One thing I want you to know is that I think even Ben mentioned this. You got to be pretty informed. Coach Ben mentioned this, and one of the things I think I even saw him raise a book. Although I watched a replay of he told me I didn't watch it live because I was
held up.
We were having this session. We were having a training session with Coach Steve Kerr of Golden State Warriors and Mike. Yeah, we were having a Zoom training session with them.
Hey, be sharing those links with me, tafadhali. Be sharing those links with me. Yes, continue.
Yeah. So it was just leadership and growth of a franchise. So we are trying to get all those information for those who have succeeded, and we were fortunate to have Coach Carr and Mike Brown speak to us, and we were able to ask questions on some of the pressures and shortfalls that they also face, and challenges that they also face. So talking about that, one thing is I try to get my players understand what some of the things I believe in, how I'm going to treat them, and we have rules, set rules and regulations. So one thing I try and do, so I try my best to be. I'm not saying I'm a holy Joe. I'm not. I also have my shortcomings, but I try and so much. Try to as much as possible to be honest with my players. I tell them my expectations. I tell them from what having watched you, I think this we need this from you. We need this from you. So we have to draw those lines. Then we have set rules and regulations, and we sit down and talk. Not just like I don't just talk with them as a boss, but I lead. I tell them these are the possible things that we are able to achieve. I try to enlighten them on if we follow this path, these are possible chances, and I also get to talk to. You can tell anytime they'll all tell you. All my players they say when I'm talking, I expect attention. I'm that jealous. As in eye contact. Eye contact. It's something I talk to them. When we meet in the morning session, I don't want somebody greeting me and not looking at me in the eyes. I want when you greet me, you look at me in the eyes, and we smile at each other. Whatever thing you want to tell me, I'm fine with it. But at least let's need that eye contact. Yeah, and we are able to discuss a lot of things freely. Some of the things that they think cannot work, and I tell them why. No. Maybe you think it can work this way. This one, there are some based on the experiences that I've had before. I know for sure this is not going to work. And the things that I know, they tell me. I know this. There's something here that they are saying that we need to look into. So we try and create that like more of an open forum in a practice session. We kind of like talk freely. There might be, let's say for instance, defending a screen, and then I tell them, maybe this team, notice this player does not do this, so we do not have to do that. We can keep that. Let's do it to the team that understands it better. So in this game, we're not going to play like that, so that our opponents do not read also what we are doing. So kind of like the other thing is these players. I also informed. It's not really a time yet to Kitambo that when we were growing up, akukwa na internet. They watch. Some of them are glued to college games, which I would advise all young players to watch college basketball and Euro ball. You learn a lot in the sense of understanding the game more if you watch college ball and EuroLeague. Other than NBA is more of talent, and wow, I think to be honest, the talent in the NBA is just unbelievable because some of the things those guys are doing. Like now, if you, it's just unbelievable. And you can live with it because one player can bail you up. You can literally give the ball to one player and he bails the whole team out. You see that? But
Mm.
it's kind of like it's still tough in our kind of play and system. So you want a lot more of cohesion and team chemistry. Mm.
Nice, nice,
I
nice.
think that
Now there's a oh,
I
okay.
think
Now
that
there's a
helps
question
would
here.
help.
Okay, continue. Sorry.
I was saying I think that should
Mm-hmm.
help him in how to manage these players. You got to be honest
Ah.
with them.
Mm-hmm.
You
Mm-hmm.
got to be honest with them. If there is any issue, you got to
Mm-hmm.
address it. You cannot sweep it under
No.
the carpet. You cannot
Mm-hmm.
say like let's leave it. It's gonna affect you up on belly. So you got to
That is.
address it. Yeah, yeah. So you got to be
Nice,
honest
nice,
with
nice.
your players, and
Mm.
that
Yeah,
will help.
and
Yeah.
yeah, and that is good. I believe if in fact when you're honest with your players, you actually it's like you actually have a better connection with them, and then working with them will even be easier because they know coach mindset yake iko hapa. This is what he expects from me, and if I do 1 2 3, then tuko sawa, and we'll have no matter what the outcome is, tutakuwa tuko sawa because we're on the same page. So coach, naona
Yeah.
tunakaribia 1 hour 30 minutes, so wacha ni tuongee maswali kama moja mbili, alafu tumalizie so that at least I respect your time. Hizi vitu si upanga 1 hour, lakini niendanga at least 1 hour 30
That's
minutes, so I think itakwanga tu hivyo. So kuna mtu Steward ameuliza hapa swali. It's a bit long, but I think I know what he's trying to ask. There's a comment from last week's episode about player selection into the national team where Coach Ben articulated on not picking a good player who's playing in the lower league. My concern is this player who plays in the lower league and and match experience like Frederick Osore of Kakamega Nebulas. Do you discredit this talent of uncertainability to the national team because he plays in the lower league? I think what he's trying to say last week, coach said, Ben Rude said, if you want to be seen, if you want to get an opportunity to play in the national team, play in the Premier League. You understand? Like at the stage where we are right now kwa Kenyan basketball, mahali utaonekana sana ni Premier League. I think that's what he was trying to say. What do you think about it?
Yeah, I think that probably that's what Coach Ben meant. But there is this player that we also gave a call up. There were two players whom we gave a call up to try out. Dan Lubutse. Dan Lubutse plays for Stanbic and was formerly of MKU. We gave him a call up, and I still believe he stands a chance to play in the future. I think I have a clue of who Frederick Osore is. I think I
Yeah.
have a clue of who Frederick Osore is because I've been to Western. Unless but I don't know if it could be the person.
New
Yeah,
York.
the long and short of it, and to get to Ben's point, I think Ben was just emphasizing that the high chances for someone to be seen better is in the Premier because that exposes him in more. It's not that we cannot pick a player from a lower level, and we also had a player from African Nazarene. What's his name? There's a gentleman from African Nazarene who also tried for the national team.
Nice.
Yeah. In fact, I really chat with some of them a lot. So it's not that to answer Okumu is not because we cannot. I think I've answered him because we are able to get that player from any level. But then I think Ben was also just trying to say that the Premier offers
better chances.
a more consistent and regular platform than other leagues.
Nice,
Yeah.
nice, that is true. So just a few comments here tukikaribia kumaliza. Tuko na somebody here anasema Michelle Wahome anasema, I agree coach, you always tell us the truth. I think so, I think you know Wahome.
That's one of my players at University USIU.
Yes, nice,
Nice.
nice.
Hi, Michi.
Let me see if you have any other comments. Okay, right now naona nikaa kuna comments. So guys, thank you so much for tuning in again. Thank you so much for tuning in. And yes, remember to like the page, Collins Elevates You. So as we come to almost a close, maybe do you have a quote that you live by, like a mantra or something that you can share with us?
Something I've always talked of, the 3Ds, as in the 3D. The first D is determination.
Yes.
Then the next D is discipline, and the last one is desire. Nice. So, and these are I put it. Determination shows you the way.
Nice.
Discipline will guide you through, and then desire will drive you home. And I'll tell you, our win against Egypt was so much celebrated, and one of the people who because it was celebrated across even the former national team players who were in the US. They wrote a comment, and I remember making one comment like, "We tried." Then this guy told me, "No, Cliff, you did not try. You did it because you do not know how many times we tried to do this thing." And nice. One of the greatest and warmest hugs I got was from Coach Odhiambo, and he keeps telling me one of the best days of his life was the day we beat Egypt in Uganda. But I want to draw you guys back to saying it's something I keep telling people whenever I meet young people, dream. You're going to have a dream. You're going to think about something. And this is something I had been sharing. And I used to tell my players, even the national team back in Rwanda, I would tell them, my dream, one of my dreams, is to beat Egypt. Beat Egypt in Egypt.
Yeah. Oh.
One of my dreams is to beat Egypt in Egypt. And I shared with some of my fellow coaches and some of my good coaches, good friends that we were working with, even in Rwanda. If you know Coach Bitok of volleyball, Coach Mulinge, and they used to share and they say, "Hey, you need to load a man," but I told him, "Kick it inawezekana."
In dreams, yeah.
And when we did it, I'm happy that they were the first people who told me, "Hey, coach, before you got out of Uganda, I got their message and they're saying, congratulations, you said it and you did it." And so I keep telling young people, you must have a dream. And in that dream, once you have it, be determined, have discipline. And that dream, which is the desire, will drive you home. Everything is achievable for a heart that is committed to it and is willing to go through the pain. That's what I can leave you guys with.
Nice, coach. Maswali zingine bado zinakuja, but guys, we have to release time mingi sana. Unaona? Stewart baada kuna swali. Ama acha tuulize tu swali moja alafu nimalize. Anasema, do you have any plans with Faisal? Faisal hata Eden Faisal.
Hukumu.
Hukumu kuna maswali
Faisal,
noma moto.
Faisal is a Somali citizen. Let's be honest. I know one time, I know probably that was just I think it was just an error. Yeah. But if Faisal was a Kenyan citizen, definitely.
Yes.
He is one player we could have considered. Because without a lie, is one of the greatest offensive assassins I've seen.
Yeah. Kabisa.
He's one of the and you saw that in KPA is one of the people who played for KPA in Rwanda for the BAL tournament, and he was slaughtering guys. So he's a good player.
He's a great player. He's a great player. So, coach, before we finish, maybe one last question. Okay, I'm seeing Yaba. Yaba is here. This is Catholic University captain, basketball captain. Yaba, I see you, my friend. So, coach, before we finish, let me just post this question hapa.
Thanks, Yaba.
Hii swali lazimanga niulize hii swali moja hii. So let me just post it so that you can have it here. Now, niambie kuhusu hii kitu. Any advice to youth players who only love scratcho and watu wa scratcho, they want to improve, lakini wanapenda tu scratcho and they only train when the coach is around. Watu kama hawa sasa coach unaweza advise aje if they are really serious about the game? Hebu niambie, how can you advise them?
You know, in our times when we were playing basketball, growing up playing basketball, we were learning either by seeing the likes of Odhiambo, when the teams come, especially where we were in Kisumu, and then the guys who were in Kisumu like James Nasimi, Go Ghost, and then when the teams come to Kisumu, then the other thing, we only had NBA on Sunday. And sometimes when you have TV, so you have to go and watch NBA kwa nyumba ya one of your friends. And then kama mlikosana, you know, you don't have a chance, so you really have to do what? Kumwomba msamaha before Sunday afternoon. So that you go watch NBA. And then amazingly, after watching, we'd go and try some of the things we'd see some of the players do. But right now, the young kids, even especially our 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16-year-old, they know who Jamal Murray is, they know who Donovan Mitchell is, they know who Joe Morant is. Some of us, you'll find some of us as coaches, we do not even know some of these players. NBA players, you see that? Yeah? They can tell you a whole list of who is in the Rockets, who is in the Mavs. You see that? So they are so much informed. But they want to go and try something that Joe Moran has been doing over a period of time again and again and again. And he wants to try it once and think he's good at it. You must set aside a time to improve on your individual skill. Even that Joe Moran works on his individual skill, and they do it like 2 to 3 hours. They take time and work on their skills 2 to 3 hours a day. Then they have sessions. When you hear the likes of Kobe Bryant, guys have left the court. The late, by the way, a great player. May God rest his soul in peace. That's a wonderful guy, the effort, the work ethic of the guy is unbelievable. Is unbelievable. So, but they put in some extra time. So, if you want to be that good, you got to put in some extra time. For me to come for my teammates to come and bring me back to their fold after kuwauza, I had to put in extra time, and then the effort paid off. You see that? After the effort has paid off, then they say now, Sasa, I can now drink the chai with them, the with them. So
kabisa. So yani mimi hapo, I agree with you.
My point is
120%.
the youth not only scratch, kuna scratch time yake. In fact, at KCT, this is what we had only Mondays for scratch, and everybody would come for scratch, but Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. We also had some we call it PF actually personal effort, but we were calling it PF. Personal. Everyone who went to KCT knew about that. At 11 a.m. after morning classes, there was a break until 2. So we would create some time there for players to go work out, do their PF, personal effort.
Nice.
So those are the things that help us build players with very good skills.
Nice. So you talked about something and I wanted to just add on something. The idea of putting that extra effort. What I normally tell guys that maybe I play with, young guys and what, I tell them, in our days, first of all, when you mesema, there was no internet. So in fact, we could not even see the games. First of all, as I said, I normally bought games kwa CDs, tunabaniwa kadhaa, unaenda kuona home. But the other thing is, we have access to the games, but what I normally tell young guys is, Jama, we have access to workouts, we have drills, we have channels where they are sharing drills. We have this FIBA channel that I've subscribed to on YouTube. We have coaches there teaching stuff to players, drills and all these things. Like, you have that information. We even have videos where guys tell you how to create your own personal program. Because what I normally tell guys is, listen, if you want to improve, first of all, you have to be intentional about it. Lazima ukue like, jamaa, mimi nataka kuimprove. Nataka venye tunasemanga, nataka kuiva kwa hii area 1, 2, 3. Kama ni defense, shooting, layups and what. And then, even if you don't have a coach, jamaa in the internet. Even if you just Google basketball drills, PDF, utapata PDFs and you'll have drills there that you can do and they'll help you elevate your game. So hii mambo ya mi siwezi train juu coach hajakuja, to me is like, boss, wewe uko too serious. Mimi nilikuwa natafuta, I have a file. Zedi knows about this file. I have a file nilipewa na Dilano. So I photocopied na ilikuwa na drills na nini, and I used that to elevate my game. Pia nikapata better basketball kwa CD. Hizi ni vitu ziko free sahi online. So young guys, if you're listening to this ama you're watching, coach amesema you have to put in PF, personal effort. Lakini pia you have access, you have access to resources saizi online. Use them, create a program. Kama hujui program, even reach out to me. Tuangalie tu, because it's very easy. What do you want to work? In fact, your strengths, your weaknesses, and what do you want to work on? So look, tafuta tu drills za hizo vitu na uta improve, si lazima ungoje coach. Haya. Coach, kabla tumalize, kuna swali tu moja nimeambiwa lazima nimalize, na huyu ni mtu wangu sana, so lazima tu niulize. Okay, first of all, let's say we talk with Tony comment ya Stewart tukimalizia. Stewart anasema great show, thank you Coach Cliff for the wisdom. You are an epitome of zeal and humility. Asante sana manze, asante sana. You're number 1 fan, Stewart Ukumu.
I'm humble. Thanks so much Stewart.
Yes. Alafu kuna swali hapa, tumalize na hii swali sasa. Guys, if there's another question tutajibu kwa comments. Kuna swali hapa. Any plans with Kigan Oyugi? Huyo point guard wa I think alikuwa KPA. Any plans na yeye?
Yeah. By the way, I have people keep asking me plans with individuals, but then I have a plan. Being a national team coach, you must have a plan with every player.
Yes,
I have every reason to work with him. The other day, one player from Daystar, before we closed on Corona, asked me, Coach, do you think what is the difference between us and those players you're working with in the national team? Then I told and can I also play for the national team? After he asked me that question, I was forced to wait and watch Daystar play. It wasn't my intention, but I had to stop and wait and watch Daystar play and look at this gentleman. Because when he came to ask me that, and he was very genuine, but this is what I told him. One of the greatest difference is the players in the national team, they are more precise. When I talk of precision here, sometimes when you pass the ball to me and you pass it here, I have to jump to get the ball.
Yeah.
Already, there's an element of jumping, getting the ball, landing, and then preparing for the shot. You didn't pass the ball to my pocket where I just get into my shot immediately. So those are very small things. Those are very, very small, minute things that players do not put into consideration. Yeah, they don't focus on. And they make a huge, huge difference in tough games. So the same way I have plans with that gentleman, I think it was called David. I do have plans with Keegan.
Nice. Keegan is a good point guard. Niliona akicheza defense pia.
He just need to work a lot on his outside shot. If you're that size, you must have a very strong outside shot. You guys can see the way Cliff is doing it.
And that gives you an opportunity. That gives you an opportunity to even now drive in, because guys know at a shoot. So when you drive in, you can also create for your big men and other guys. So that is true. So Kev, swali imejibiwa hapo. So coach, let me just say
thanks,
asante sana. Yes, coach, let me just
Karibu.
Yes, asante sana, nimeshukuru. This was a great honor. Na tutaongea hata after this, tutaongea maybe itakuja kesho, tutaongea niko na idea ya kitu tunaweza fanya kwa channel yangu, to share maybe ideas, maybe kidogo, maybe have like a session.
You're most welcome.
Yes. So asante.
Again, I want to say I'm very thankful to the fans and everyone who tuned in, and especially our fans. All the things that they're doing to us. That little shout is a big thing. And we really appreciate your help and support. A quick one. Also, help us out in this preparation, because preparation is the key. We might roll out. We may roll out a pay bill number, M-Pesa number for guys to raise funds for Morans in our preparations. Guys, be ready to help us too.
Hapo tuambie na tutasaidia, tutasambaza hiyo news. Even in fact, you let me know. Ndaanza hata video, hata ni boost so that it reaches more people. We do what we can. Na guys, tuchange bana, tusaidie national team. Hapa ndo mali tuko saizi Kenya, lazima tusaidiane na tujenge national team. So coach, hiyo ni sawa, hiyo share and we'll contribute, we'll share, we'll do what we can. Hiyo ni sawa kabisa.
Thank you.
So
thank you so much.
So guys, asanteni sana kwa joining us. Karibu tunaenda 2 hours, 1 hour 50 minutes. Ben Oludhe tulikuwa 1 hour 40 minutes, so na guys wamekuwa hapa all along. Naona Zedi amesema hapo good stuff, so asanteni sana coach Zedi. Huyo pia siku moja nitakuwa naye hapa kwa show. Pia tuko na a forum inaitwa TCC, the coaches connect or something like that. Tuko nayo pia guys, you can follow us on Instagram. My coaches tuna meet every Sunday, we have a call and we just share ideas hapa na pale just to help us improve. So guys, thanks so much for watching. Remember to subscribe to my channel, Coach Collins Odhiambo. Like this page, Collins Elevate You. Follow me on Instagram at Collins_EU. So other than that, guys, remember to love your life. That is the only life you have. Live fully so that you can rest in peace. And yeah, create a legacy, guys, because how you live your life is what you're going to leave behind. That's how. Other than that, guys, asanteni sana. God bless you. Till next week, same time, tutapatana hapa. Asanteni sana. Coach, asante sana bana.
Cheers, man.
Asante sana.
Cheers.
Haya.
Thanks.
Haya, thank you.